Get ready for truth and transparency from an ocean of liberal tears. Welcome to the Blue Shark Show with your host, Mike Lang.
We're here today with Steve Biggers. And Steve, you're running for GOP chair of Hood County. Can you explain to the viewers why you kind of got involved with running for this position?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Mike. I appreciate it. A few years ago, I got involved in the county side of things with my axe to grind with the county on the septic side of things. People that know me that. So I got more involved with Commissioner's Court and getting involved in some of the decisions being made, and then COVID hit. And then a lot of people got involved with that. And I felt about a year ago, I pray about a lot of things. You know, my faith is very strong, and I felt like God was calling me to throw my hat in the ring, and I was resisting that. I wasn't going that route. And then 4 or 5 things affirmed that, and so I threw my hat in the ring, and I didn't really want one of the paid positions. I wanted something that I thought would make a difference in being what I call the gatekeeper for the citizens of our county, and that would be the GOP chairmanship.
And Steve, you mentioned gatekeeper, and that kind of brings up, as a GOP chair, of course, the platform, the Republican platform, is, you know, the ideals of the Republican Party.
Exactly.
So as the gatekeeper, what do you plan on doing as far as accountability for the elected officials?
When I looked at the chairman, the GOP chairman, it is a partisan position. We believe in the Republican platform. That's what we stand on. And to me, there are 3 facets of that position. One would be the mechanics of the election, just making sure the election went smoothly and fairly, people involved, volunteers, that sort of thing. Second would be the exposure in the county, getting our GOP platform out there in the county more, and that's not being done now. We have a very active county with events and things like that. And third, the one that you were just speaking to, is having the chair position along with the precinct chair positions hold our elected officials accountable. And what I mean by that is you have all the elected officials on this side, and you have the citizens of Hood County on this side, and I look at it as a figure 8. You're going to have to go through the EC and the precinct people, and you're going to stand accountable. One of the first things that I would do once I'm elected is give each elected official a copy of the platform, a copy of the Texas Constitution, and a copy of the U.S. Constitution, and say, you step off these, you're on troubled water.
Steve, on your campaign page, your Facebook page, it's Steve Biggers for GOP chair. You say that you are a true Republican and you're a true conservative. Can you explain that?
Sure. I believe in the entire Republican platform. I'm not going to parcel it out. This is appropriate here and this isn't appropriate there. What the Republican platform says, I stand on. Totally, and I encourage everyone to go out and read that. So, and the conservative side of things, less government is better government. So the less they're in our lives, we're circling back to the septic thing and the extorted contract thing that they do here, that's how I felt like the government's in my life, but not in every homeowner's life. So that is not right. That is the conservative side of things. Leave me alone. Leave the people alone. Let them run their lives. Don't shut us down because we have to get the almighty dollar from the government, as our current elected officials have said. Or when they say if they don't like the way we spend money, they can sue us. That is not what an elected official needs to say, and on my watch, they would be brought to accountability through the EC.
As well they should, so I appreciate
Absolutely.
that. Yes.
Absolutely.
As the GOP chair, if you're elected, what would you do as far as things in the community for our elected officials?
Okay, so once they're elected and once they know where the Republican platform stands, and they start straying off that, and I'll use an example that we had during the COVID time when our county attorney, Matt Mills, decided he didn't want to prosecute people for not wearing a mask or not shutting down their business. And we had a local judge that kind of went off the rails and decided that he would do that, and special prosecutor. Well, the EC at the time did the right thing. They stepped up and they were going to hold him accountable with a resolution. And unfortunately, our current county chair was the tie-breaking, not holding him accountable vote. But it kind of brought him back on the rails. Those are the things that the EC and the chairman, we can be the tip of the spear for the conservative Republican people of this county and keeping our elected officials in line.
Can you explain to our viewers what the EC is?
Sure, absolutely. There's precincts within the county. There are 16 precincts within our county, and each precinct has a chairman, or a couple of them are combined. So you have the precinct chair, which are the PCs, what they call. Each of those are broken down, and then you have into the precincts, and then you have the executive committee, which makes up all those precincts. And then over that, you have the executive committee leadership, the chairman, the vice chair, the secretary, the parliamentarian. The chairman of the EC, in my thinking, is the top dog Republican party person in the county. And my position that once I attain it will be the tip of the spear for the vision for the rest of the EC and the precinct people.
In closing, Steve, is there anything you would like to add for our viewers?
Yes. Once again, I appreciate you having me here and doing this for the community. What I would like, if you like what you hear from me, if you want to explore more about my campaign, certainly go to the Facebook thing. But what I encourage people when I talk with them is tell two people. That's the way it works. If you like what you hear from me and you want to see this vision cast within our county and having the EC be the people that stand on the gap and on the wall for the conservative citizens of this county, tell two people about me, support my campaign. Early voting starts February 14th and Election Day is March 1st.
And it's coming up quick.
It is.
Thank you for coming in, Steve. This is Steve Biggers for GOP Chair on Facebook. So if there are any questions you would like to ask Steve, please feel free to do that. Everybody's a little bit different on what questions they want to ask, so please get a hold of Steve. Thanks again for coming in. Shark Show out.